Alright, so this is going to be 1.5. And it's to use problem solving strategies and models. Alright, so basically some of these are going to be word problems, some of these are going to be just general problems. So I think the way we'll break it up is after the quiz, we'll cover the generalized problems that are already set up for you, and then the next day we will cover the word problem type of these, and they're really not hard word problems. It's just a little different than you're used to. But overall, these notes should go pretty quick here. So the first step is to create a verbal model. Okay, we want to know what we're dealing with using words. Okay, so we also call this a word equation. And that's not as critical in this particular section, but it will be, I think it's 1.6 that it particularly pertains to. And then the second step, which technically these could be reversed, but you need to choose a strategy, okay, based on the problem. And that's going to either be a formula to look for a pattern, or to draw a diagram. See if I can focus this in a little better. I think that might help a little bit. Alright, so we have, like I just said, there's 3 different types here, so I'm just going to give you a quick example or just a little brief overview of what each type is like. So, using a formula, examples of this would include something, these are just going to be your basic formulas that you can use for anything, so I'm just going to give 2 here. Something like distance is equal to rate times time, okay, or D is equal to RT. And then next, perimeter, which would be 2 times length plus 2 times width, okay, or as you're familiar with, P is equal to 2L plus 2W. So that's the using a formula type, and there's many other formulas that could be used, okay, but those are going to be the most common ones in this particular section. Next we have looking for a pattern. Okay, so these ones, they involve a table. Okay. You're going to find a pattern in the table. And then you're going to write an equation using the information. Okay, so it's going to be a table with 2 rows and some number of columns, and you got to figure out how to get from point A to point B, from point B to point C, and it's going to have a pattern in it when we do this type. And then the last type here that you need to know about is drawing a diagram. So basically, it's as obvious as it sounds. You're going to draw a picture, and you're going to label your knowns and unknowns. Okay, so just a quick little run through here since that went a little faster than I even thought it would. For the drawing a diagram part, okay, this is going to involve something like, let's say your parents have a wall and they have 6 pictures that they want to put on it, and they want them to be evenly spaced from end to end. It's going to tell you how wide the frames are, okay, and they're all going to pretty much be the same for the sake of this exercise, I believe. And then you're going to have some unknown of the space between, and you're going to have to figure out what that unknown is. Okay, so that's an example of that. The looking for a pattern, we won't use this quite as much in an actual word problem, and here we'll just be mainly using an actual table that's given to us. But we might look at an example of that just to look over it a little bit as a word problem. And then using a formula, that would just be something like we're going to look at a scuba diving problem, I think. It could be something about how long it takes to get from point A to point B in your car, things like that. But we'll be looking at examples like that. So like I said, we'll be doing some generalized problems that are not word problems after the quiz, and then we will be doing the word problems the next day and just kind of wrapping that section up then. So yeah, I think that's all you need to know. Just be ready to draw some diagrams and look for some patterns when we come to class on that day.